Hey, dad is not a noun. Thank you. All right. Let me share this out. Welcome in, welcome in. Let's do all the good things like the beautiful angel Erica says. I call her the blocks god fairy big sister. Well, let me update my live goal. I like to start out with the penny gifts. And we are on Queen Bee Lee's final 4-day stretch of lives. I go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Thank you for the daily heart. Me, oh hi Ruthie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I hope we are all having a taco. This is the best Taco Tuesday. It is Cinco de Mayo, but it is also Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Day. That is why I am wearing red today. If you did not know, 10,248 Indigenous people are still currently missing, and there are 0 National Guard looking for them. One way you can honor them and bring attention to this is to wear red today. So if you did not know, now you know that that is today. Um, if you do not follow Sajida or Gina, you should follow them both. They have information on it, especially Gina. She hosts lives where she talks to her community, which is the Indigenous community. And I do believe she has a foundation. It's TIPM, and I apologize that I don't know accurately what the acronym stands for. So I'm not going to pretend like I do and guess. But she's wonderful. I've been able to sit and listen to her bring in people within her community, individuals that are like running for seats in North Dakota speak. So, yeah, a lot of information. But again, today is also Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Day. So you can wear red to bring attention to that. And again, there's 10,248 missing Indigenous people and 0 National Guard looking for them. And then it's also Cinco de Mayo as well. So if you see anybody in a MAGA hat celebrating Cinco de Mayo, I recommend spraying hot sauce in their eyes. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just saying. Who did the artwork? I have no idea. I probably could look at the end. But this is a right, Ruthie. This is just a lo-fi beats. I'm a lo-fi girly. I do like listening to that when I am just doing work. I recommend it. I just put it on the tubes, I just picked this one. It's got a very beautiful and black girly as the artwork. Dad is not a noun. I will look to see if it's listed, and then I will put it in the Ratified Bangers channel in the block Discord. So if you'd like to join the block Discord, BLOC without the K, because we don't do the triple around here, let me know. I will send you the link. And then I'll put it in there. So I actually just put the link to the video as well. Okay. So again, I am here, and hopefully I can make this an actual movement where we are going to give up on white men. So now listen, white men, I know you guys get a little bit in your fifis when I say this, and I'm going to need you all to toughen up. Okay. And it's not for you to get like upset. It's just for you to understand that it's clear you do not listen to anyone but yourselves. So I would love for people who are Black, for people who are brown, and even white women to start thinking about building coalitions together, focusing on our needs. Because when you look historically, when white men are in positions of power, they don't really push forward things that include us, um, especially for women, especially white women. You are the last on the list. Um, I mean, if you think about it in reality, they allowed what at a time was what they considered good economic, which would be Black men the access to vote before who they considered to be wives, white women, the option to vote, right? That would be, if you just look at our amendments, right? And even to this day, you will hear white men say that we shouldn't have the 19th Amendment. So it doesn't make any sense why, when you look at the voting percentage, why women continue to align themselves to uphold the needs of these people that don't support them. And then when you want to get down to the numbers, white women, of who actually harms you at high rates, it is the men within your community, right? Look at who are the ones that unalive you the most, who are the ones that hold the pew pews the most and do the mass pew pewings. Those have high rates of unaliving white children. Those are your children. Who are the ones that grape you at high rates? Those are the men within your community, right? Who are the ones that commit DV against you the most? Those are the men within your community. And you might be thinking, well, I can't because, I am a mother. Thank you, Matt. I am a mother to a YT son. I understand that. I'm not telling you to throw him out the house, but what makes your son so special, right? There have been plenty of YT sons that have grown up and had positions of power, but they didn't turn around and think about their mom when they got into those positions of power, unfortunately. Right when they turn 18, they automatically, according to society, um, get into a certain level above you. And I'm not saying they set it up, right? It was already set up before all of us were born, right? And until, right, white people, a lot of times white men, because they hold a lot of the positions of power in this country, dismantle that system, it's not going to change. So why are we helping them do anything? It's not for our betterment, right? So the white men that are on the right side of history, what I like to call non-practicing white men, I would love for you not to give up on them, you know, go in there, help them deconstruct, right? Because we do see statistically that they do have high rates of unaliving themselves, and I don't want them to do that. But I am not going to be able to help them because, as you can see from the comments, they are very violent towards me. I don't wish harm on them, but they want to harm me because I don't want to continue to help them. Right. And even when I try to help them, they still want to be violent towards me. So I'm just done. And even when I say I'm done, but people who look like them should help them, they still want to be violent towards me, right? There is help out there for them. It's just not going to be through me as a Black woman, right? When you look at family annihilators, who is the number one person that does it? What's the number one demographic? It's white teen men. Uh, Oh, hey, I'm him. I hope you're having a good day. Good to see you. Why they keep unaliving they whole family and then themselves. That right. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to be able to help them with that. And I don't understand why they're so angry about black, brown, and black and brown people and white women, honestly, taking a step back. Now, white women, I'm not the first to tell you that you outnumber them. There was a point in history where you had a revolution where you realized that numbers wise, you do outnumber them. and you were starting to take your power back. But I don't know what happened along the way where you forgot that. And maybe it's because you started sinking into your privilege that you started to just be okay with what you were given. And I want you to stop doing that. One second. I'm updating my goal. I need you to stand up and wipe off your face, right? I really need you to, because when I was looking at the numbers, I started to see a shift in the last election, right? So in 2016, you all voted 53% for Donald Trump, right? In 2020, 53% of y'all, white women, voted for Donald Trump. In 2024, 51% of y'all voted for Donald Trump. So, okay, still not great. It's still not great. I would love to see that number move even more. However, I see it. I see a reduction. I am seeing a reduction there, white women. Okay, and look what happened when he got in office. Who was who after Keith Porter? Who else did they show you as expendable after the black man? Well, what was her name? Renee Good, right? They let you know that you can go too. But for some reason you keep thinking that they were going to think for you. So are you grappling with the fact that it's time that you have to give up your privilege? I'm telling you, if you start facing it now, it'll be better, because we're black and brown people aren't the culprits here, right? And then I mean, if you just like misogynistic, Mia, we're gonna have to work on the names that you come up with when you when you raid my lives. Now, I am gonna show some examples. Even if I kindly just say that we're not gonna help you, let's see if they are going to be angry or very upset. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. What is your age for TikTok purposes and your race?
21. I identify as being black, but I was born white.
Oh, that doesn't really work. You can't just change your race. It doesn't work like that.
No, I know biologically I can't, but I identify as being black.
That it doesn't work like that. Being
Says
transracial is
who?
not a thing.
Says who?
Transracial is just not a thing. But if you're just here to troll, you can just find a different.
I'm not a troll. I really do identify as a
I
black
mean,
man.
it doesn't work like that. Like, I know that you're trying to troll. It just not you're not doing a very good job.
So you agree you can't be transgender either?
I know that's not the same thing. You're talking about
Oh,
race.
I see.
You're trying really hard
Mm.
and it's not gonna work. And
I identify as a black
it's
man.
not
Don't
my
be
fault.
offensive.
It's not my fault that like your brain can't wrap around it, right?
Actually, my great 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 grandfather was a black man. So
Really.
I am like 1%
I
black,
want
so I
you to
can.
understand that you're not important. I don't have to talk to you. I don't know why you guys think that you're important. And that was idiotic. And
Girl, she done already done had hers.
understand that I'm not going to help you. And you're convincing me that my prompt is wrong. You want to come up here and say that you're transracial, and for some reason, you let me know that you're grappling with your own sexuality because you just had to bring up the beautiful dolls. What doll were you touching yourself? Like what were you looking at while you were touching yourself before you came on here? Because they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Honey, they're let me tell you, my transgender sisters, child, I ain't mad at you. But they are on your minds. If for some reason we are talking about how I'm giving up on white men and somehow you found a way to include my my sisters in the transgender community, baby, I'm not going to stop you. But I want to see your search history. I want to see your search history because that was a little That was a little weird. But again, you didn't convince me at all that I'm wrong because that was weird. God bless Texas 80. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. As a Latina woman, I appreciate if you do not mix us with your horrific racist acts against white people. I have
Stop steamrolling. I need to know your
you.
age. I need to know your
Um,
age. Okay. First of all, you you people. You people. I need you
Woo! Girl, she done already done had hers.
know your place. Latina? First of all, Latina? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hola? Why don't you come back up here and cállate la boca and wait until I allow you to steamroll? Mami? Why don't you wait and show your manners that abuela I know fucking raised you to have? Coming up here, hopping off the mic, desperate. Pick Misha. Pick Sita. Pick Mamacita is what I should have said. Pick Mamacita, so desperate to come up here and tell me.
Period, bitch. Period.
Oh, don't come up here and speak for us with your racist. Bitch. Puta. The fuck you thought? Next time you come up here, cállate la boca, until you tell me how old you are. Then you can complain about how you don't want to get off your knees for the pink cock. Okay, you can keep your mouth open for them. I didn't say you couldn't. You're missing the point. If you want to be a pick me mamacita, go ahead. That's fine. But on citas, we're not doing that here. I'm not wasting my time helping white men do it. Report it, mommy. Report it. Go ahead. Guess what? Chopico blocka blocka. I don't care. I'd be hating too. I'd be hating too. Thank you so much for the gift. That's really cute. W's in the chat for politics with Matt. That was cute. I'd be hating too if I had to have a profile picture like that. Period, Pooh. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat. If you sent your daily heart me, you could send an actual W sticker. She came up here to let me know that she wants to still suck on the pink D. Go ahead, girl. I ain't mad at you. Like, do what you got to do to survive out here. But that's not going to change my stance on anything. And you're not convincing me that you should not be supporting white men. What are they doing for you, really, ma'am? They voted to potentially have you thrown into a detention center based on just how you sounded. And if you really wanted to like be convincing, my recommendation, hun, is work on getting a dialect coach. Because I don't know if you knew, but they made it legal for them to stop you based on how you
Period, bitch.
Thank you for the follow. And welcome to the Beehive and not the Beehive. And we love everything that you've done for the world, Beyonce. Because we know how the Beehive get, and I don't want them to get confused. Name one successful Black nation. America. The United States of America. The United States of America. We are a small percentage, but we influence the entire world with our culture. That was easy. Next question. Yeah, we are a small percentage, and yet we influence the entire world with our culture. How pathetic that there is a white majority, and yet the Black Americans influence the entire world with our culture. So this, in fact, is a Black successful nation. How pathetic. Y'all got so many people here, but you can't impact an entire world. People copy us everywhere. Go to country to country to country. Continent to continent to continent. I bet you in Antarctica, the penguins is doing something that we doing. Hello? What's up, Alani? I'm just saying, you asked me like a very basic question. I don't care if it's majority, but you white people ain't keeping up. How? You got so many white people, but where is your culture? I'll tell you your culture. You should go check out my podcast. Y'all culture, by technicality, Y'all ate people. Y'all started eating people 14,700 years ago. Go to Goff's Cave in Somerset, England, and y'all were making bowls out of skulls. Y'all would carve little decorative designs in it. Y'all had war cannibalism where you ate your enemies. Funerary cannibalism, after, your family member, somebody passed away, you used to eat them up so you can absorb them into your body. Yeah, y'all did that. Survival, of course, that's the one that, in the Western world, we like to give a pass to. Only for some, but not all, right? Y'all did that. Medicinal. That one is great. You guys are shocked by that one. Because y'all don't know different languages, y'all thought that Mamiya, which is known as asphalt today because y'all don't know Arabic, because y'all proof, trust me, go check out my podcast. The asphalt, if y'all ever seen the movie The Mummy Returns, what Anaxa Mamoon had on her body, and when the pharaoh was like, who was touching you? And they found out it was the mummy guy. I think that was the first one. That shit, that was called Mamiya, right? And y'all thought it was mummy, and y'all grounded up mummies into powder, and y'all was selling it. It was prescribed by doctors, and it was in pharmacies. And then when they ran out of mummies, y'all used to dig up the corpses of thieves and enslaved people and indentured servants and grind up their bones and pretend like it was mummies and sell it to elite white people as medicine. And there was actually a king that would have blood in a little necklace, and he used to he's like, drink that shit. Yeah, don't get me started on chattel slavery. That's y'all culture. That's why y'all really like stuff like Dahmer and true crime. And y'all probably got like skull cups and skull shit. Y'all really like that. That's because y'all get in touch with y'all heritage. Okay? That's your culture. Fuck is you talking about? Don't disrespect me. I know y'all culture. I'm respecting your culture, matter of fact. Know your history. Come on now. Don't do yourself. Y'all got culture. Hey, Air Sick, how are you doing today?
Good evening. Doing pretty good. How you doing?
Thank you so much for following. I am doing well. May I know your age for TikTok purposes, and what is your race?
27 years of age. To the social construct of race, I'm black.
Awesome. And what would you like to say about the prompt today?
Well, I wanted to ask you why. Why do you think we should give up on people just because of their skin tone?
White men specifically, because I'm specific when I say just white men.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm talking to black people, brown people, and white women, not other white men, right? And like the non-practicing white men, like the white men who are actively deconstructing, what some might call, good whites, if that is a thing. I would love for them to talk to each other and like help the ones that are like super racist, that don't want to deconstruct, they like deny that racism and chattel slavery exists. I would love for them to talk to each other and help each other and grow. I am going to give up on them because they don't listen to me and they're extremely violent towards me. So it's pointless. And I'd rather focus on building coalitions with everybody else. It's been proven to be a waste of time. So I'm not going to continue to waste my time when there's other things to focus on. And they got it. I mean, they're overrepresented in positions of power. I don't see why they need me to help them do anything.
Sure. Let me ask you a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we should also give up on black people that ain't doing good? I mean, what this take? I'm not understanding this take.
I'm not white. I'm black though.
Well, the truth is, the social construct of race, you're not even black, by the way. You're only black because of the social construct of race. But in my strong opinion, we're all children of God. So why would I give up on anybody just because of a fucking skin tone? That's my question to you, sister.
Well, if I'm going to, God, So God, he came before us, right? He counted our steps before us. So he knew that the social construct that he fearfully and wonderfully placed us all in when he came before us, he knew that that social construct was going to be created, and he purposefully made us black in this social construct. I am going to choose to help the ones in the social construct that are Black to help first, because I
God didn't make
understand
the
that.
social.
Because
God
no,
had
but
nothing to
he,
do with the social construct of
no, but
man.
he knew that it was going to be created, right? Because he came before us.
No, he's seen it happening. There's a difference
No,
between knowing
But so you're
the
going to
future
tell me?
and seeing it
So in the
happen.
Bible, it doesn't say that he came before us. He is in
Yeah,
the
God is
past,
before
present, and future.
humanity, of
It
course.
don't say that.
Sure, but your concept is you're acting like God
But
just
you
knew we
don't.
were going to be
He
black.
didn't count. He didn't count our steps, and he didn't make me and you Black on purpose in his image.
The idea that your life is predetermined
I
is
didn't say
false.
that.
Yes, that idea is
He
false.
didn't fearfully and wonderfully make me and you Black on purpose, or
God
African,
made everybody.
or
We're all
whatever you
God's
want to
children.
put it. Black, African, brown, more melanin. He didn't put this amount of
Yeah, we're all
melanin
human
in
with
me and
different
you.
levels of melanin.
Yeah, he
Yes.
didn't do that on purpose, and then he didn't purposefully make sure that we were born in America. He didn't do that on purpose.
I mean, we're born on Earth. Everyone's born on Earth. It don't
But
matter
he
what
didn't place us
state
in
or
certain. But he didn't place
country.
us here. It was just
We're
random.
here.
He didn't
Here
have
we are.
any. He didn't have any say in where he placed us. Is that what you're saying?
God has nothing to do with the social constructs of
I
man. That
didn't
is what
say
I'm
that.
telling you.
You're talking about the social constructs, but I'm saying to you, God didn't know
God
that
gave
he
you
was
life.
going to
God
put.
gave me life. God
Yeah,
gave
but
everyone life.
when God placed where we was finna be born, you're trying to say he didn't have a hand that you and I were gonna be in the United States during this time for a reason? It was just.
It doesn't. It does not matter.
So now
The
it don't
social
matter.
construct of man, the
Are you
sin
right?
of
You're
man,
saying
is
the
man's
social
fault.
construct. I need you to stop saying the social construct because you're not hearing me. You want to go the social construct of man, but I am not there yet. I'm talking about if God already knew that man was going to create this sin of a social construct. I know that my God is so great that what he did, my God, what he did, he was like, I am going to purposefully put my children of God that are capable. I'm going to fearfully and wonderfully make them with this much melanin, and I'm going to place them here in the United States. And I know that they're going to have these certain godly gifts to be able to use them in a place with this god awful, sinful social construct for a reason. And my godly gift is to sit here and tell Black, brown, and white women to give up on a white man that got the white demon in him. And the other white men that are deconstructing, they can handle that because I want to keep us safe. Because historically,
Okay.
we are unsafe with them, and God know that.
To your logic, then we should give up on everybody that has melanin that's up to no good, leaving they single mamas
That's
and
your
shit,
logic. That's your logic.
having
That's
all
your
these
logic.
ABs,
Don't put your logic on
doing
me.
all this crime.
Don't
I'm
put
just
your
telling
logic
you
on
that
me.
there's
Look at the
you
demon
have
coming out
bad
you.
and good and
I
everything.
rebuke
It
you in
don't
the
matter.
name of Jesus. I
Man,
rebuke
girl,
you in the
don't
name of
stop.
Jesus. Lord, I'm going to speak over this man right now, and I rebuke the demon coming out of him because he hate
Young lady,
himself. He hate
young
himself
lady,
and
you're
his people.
preaching hate
Lord
on people
God
because they're white,
Almighty, I
and
rebuke
you're not
the
listening.
demon coming out of him in the name of Jesus, Lord. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And
You're the one
may
preaching hate.
Jesus be with you, Lord. May the Lord Jesus be with you because we don't do that up here.
Girl, she done already done had her.
Lord, may he bless him. Because you see how quickly he wanted to go to hating his own self? He hated his own melanin. There are white men out here doing the good work. There are white men out here doing the good work. Why do I, as a Black woman, need to do it? When we know historically in this country, God himself knows that it was not against the law to grape the ones that look like me. Does he not know that as an FBA, as a foundational Black American that he was? Does he not know that? That it was legal to what they called breed us. Oh, not the light turning me off, but that was the Lord. That was the Lord. You see the Lord, the angels. The angels was getting me. They were like, see, that was God. It was legal to grape the ones that look like me in this country. And he trying to sit here and tell me that God didn't know that before he fearfully and wonderfully made me with a spiritual gift to have this influence in this type of communication and this brain. He trying to tell me that was by mistake. You ain't gonna come up in here. You ain't gonna come up in here. And I know that when two of us meet, that the Lord is here. And I know that there's more than one of us up in here. So the Lord up in here. Don't try to play with me, try to use God and then twist that shit up and go to single moms. I'm sorry that you don't love your mama. Thou shalt honor thy mother and father. What is you doing up in here? The disgrace. I know your grandma mad. Okay, who else want to yell at me and say I need to save the white man? The hell, they can save themselves. Isn't that why they say they so great? Why do I gotta save them? I'm not Jesus. They got this.
I'm glad you brought
Robert.
me up.
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Sir?
Listen,
May I just know your
I'm
age?
doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. May I just know your age and your state? I mean, your age and your race.
37 years old. I'm black, African American, American of African descent.
Lovely. And what would you like to say to
So,
me, sir?
so look, let me say this. That dude that you had come up here earlier, that motherfucker's a cluck, and I hope he can hear me. The reason why I say that is this right here, and I ain't trying to sugarcoat it. I'm gonna be honest with you. The white man got the white man, they raised war in the name of their God. They have enslaved people in the name of their God. They have abused people and unalive people who have gone into schools and unalive kids in the name of their God. But why in the fuck and how in the fuck do we supposed to believe in the same God, but our God tell us to accept them, to accept these people, accept what they're doing?
Right.
I just don't understand this fucking guy. I don't know where they found him at, but wherever they found him at, they need to take his ass right back there. I believe in the same God they believe in. The God that believes that knows and believes in vengeance. So all of this shit with, oh, God told me not to do this and God told me not to do that. God said, I will make man in my likeness. But he also said that the vengeance is mine. So if I am of God and I am like God, then shit, I shall have vengeance too. So don't let this don't let this demon come up here and try to throw this God thing at you, because we all firm believers in Christ. We know who God is. But God also gave us free moral will.
I appreciate
So
you.
don't let these cats come up here and try to convince you that what they doing is okay and that they are acceptable people. A lot of them aren't. The majority of them aren't acceptable people, because them motherfuckers are filled with vengeance, hate, and racism and bigotry. These people are no good. These, excuse my language for cursing so much, but we're talking about a group of people that have created and committed the worst atrocities ever known to man, to all of humanity. All of humanity, not just black people, but Chinese people and even their own kind. And they still refuse to accept accountability or even to say that it's fucking wrong. I'm going to say this and I'm going to be quiet. Fuck that guy that came up here last. Fuck him.
All right. You have a beautiful day, Robert. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. And listen, I'm not saying they all gotta like go bye-bye or nothing. No. But I'm just not gonna waste my time helping people that are gonna be violent towards me. Like, but I do want them to get help. It's just not gonna be through me. Apple U11, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Your age and your race.
25 and white.
Awesome. So did you want to ask me why?
Yeah. So the first guy I just want to mention, I'm in a vehicle, but I'm not driving. So I understand, like, for TikTok guidelines. So the first guy that came up, he kind of asked you the question, and I'm kind of confused on the response you gave.
Can you
And you were saying,
refresh me? I don't know which first guy was for you.
oh, I'm sorry. So he basically asked you, like, why? And you mentioned, you know, I'll sit here and say it myself. You know, there's stereotypes for white people, like, grape and, having intercourse with family. Like, it's a stereotype, like, especially like down south, they say that. And just like there's stereotypes for other races. but what specific group of white men are you like talking about that you need to give up on?
All white men.
Like, is it just so
just white men.
even myself?
Well, I don't know which person you're talking about because I've been streaming for 35 minutes. So I don't know when
It
you
was
met.
2 guys ago. The
Yeah,
guy talking about
I'm
God.
not, so he was talking about giving up on God's children. So I'm going to tell you why I have this problem. Okay.
All right, I'm listening.
Yeah. So historically, white men, specifically if I'm talking about in this country, have been overrepresented in leadership positions, right? And if we go back into how this country was even founded, the reason why we even separated from the UK, which was Great Britain at the time, it was because an enslaved African went with his slave owner to Great Britain and was able to become free. And out of fear that white men were going to lose their property, which were enslaved Africans, that's when they decided they needed to separate from Great Britain. Okay. This is white men. White men
Right.
have historically in positions of power not thought about really anybody outside of themselves unless they were forced. And even being forced, it was semi. It hasn't been good enough, in my opinion, to represent the betterment of everyone
Can I
else.
chime in real quick and say something very quickly? I'm not sure. I don't want to be rude. So I understand what you're saying with like slavery and
Do you?
how
Let me
America was.
finish.
Well, I'm just want to chime in that it was the same white people that were in power that established the 3/5 compromise and, moved past slavery and abolished slavery. So
It's
that's
not
what I wanted to chime
abolished.
in.
It's not abolished.
Well,
It is
it should be in prisons.
it's not
You
abolished
should
though.
lose your rights. You should, well, in prisons, you should have no rights.
It's not abolished. And it's that mindset of the white man that you possess is why I'm giving up on y'all with the 13th Amendment, right? Because now we have private prisons and the way that you have an inhumane thought process. I think it might be epigenetics of something passed down through you all that I can't understand. I don't think I will ever understand why you all think this way, right? I know that epigenetically, Black people have some trauma that is passed down, through chattel slavery, right? And there has to be something epigenetically passed down to white people, especially white men. I'm not going to understand it, but based on what you just said, I think you're kind of proving my point that you think that people deserve to lose their rights when they're in prison, just like chattel slavery. And I'm not sure if you know what chattel slavery actually is. However, and I think white men are overrepresented in positions of leadership, and you all just think for yourselves. At this point, if there are white men that are considered good white men, why don't you all just help each other, build your own coalitions, figure out how to build together on your own. You all think that you guys are better than everyone. Be together, do the work alone. Because you all make promises that you are going to reach back and help Black, brown people, and white women, but you really don't ever fulfill your promise. You think of yourselves first. So why don't Black people, brown people, and white women come together and think of us first instead of thinking what you all need first and just kind of cut you guys out until you work on your racism, your misogyny, and really dismantle the patriarchy, because we can't dismantle systematic racism. That is something that the people who created it and benefit off of it need to dismantle. And that'll be white men. So I'm not saying that you guys need to like leave or anything. But hopefully y'all can fix the issue with America, since you all kind of are what created it.
What's the issue of America?
Systematic racism.
So you're saying there's no systematic racism in other countries?
I'm talking about America. Why are you
I
leaving
understand
America?
that,
But why can't you focus on America right now?
well, I
Are you
asked you,
in
you
another are
said,
you in another country?
no, I live in the greatest country in the world, America.
Right. So why are you talking about other countries?
Well, systematic racism, I think people intertwine that with interpersonal racism
What is
and think that,
interpersonal racism?
well, that's when I talk to people on lives and they're talking about white supremacy and systematic racism and they kind of combine that with people's own personal beliefs on them being superior to another race.
I don't think white men are superior to me in any way.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying
I don't think
people who
white
are.
men
I'm
are
saying people
superior.
in our country who are racist themselves.
I don't think white men are superior to anyone in any way.
No, I'm not saying you think. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in the United States.
All people should not think white men are superior to anyone because white men need us
All
to do
people should
everything.
believe that all
But
races.
think about it. White men have been unable to build and create anything on their own except systematic racism, and it only benefits them. Really? Can you tell me
Okay, so
something that
back
white
to
men
my.
have fully built on their own that benefits everyone?
I mean, we conquered America. I mean, we
Conquered,
came from Britain.
but you conquered.
Yeah,
How did that
Louisiana Purchase.
benefit everyone? That was chattel slavery was involved, and you're laughing about
We
it.
created the
that
greatest country in
benefited.
the world
So
on Earth.
listen to the inner colonizer coming out of you right now. Conquering.
Yeah, that's how things happen. That's how things work back then.
So look
Every country's been conquered.
and why are you surprised that me as a black woman wants to give up on you? You're
Because you
saying
live
the
in
good
America
thing-
because a
you're
white
saying
man
the
conquered
good-
it.
You're saying the good. Oh, and that's great that I live in a place where there's systematic racism because of white men.
You live in a great
And
country.
why are you upset that I want to give up on you? Look at how you're acting. We should have
Well,
given
that's
up.
what I wanted to ask you
We should have given up on
about
y'all
the original
a
point.
while ago. You guys didn't
But
even
are
write
you
the
saying
Constitution on your own.
when you say y'all, are you talking about
about you
position like
too.
white men in power? No, so it's white men in
based
power.
on your answer, you as well, because you're laughing
Okay,
about conquering a land that you didn't even know how to grow food on. If it wasn't for enslaved Africans and indigenous people, you guys were eating each other in Jamestown. Did you know that?
bro, what?
You didn't know that? You don't know anything about Jamestown?
No,
You don't know
I'm
your
not
own
really
history?
interested in hearing that. But
You
I'm
should be
interested
interested in hearing that. You're talking about conquering. When the winter came, you were eating each other because you couldn't grow any food because you guys are helpless without black, brown, and indigenous people.
I mean, black, brown, indigenous people didn't conquer America.
Because they don't
It was
have to
white people.
conquer things in order to be prosperous. That is y'all.
So what about what about the countries in Africa that have been
What about
conquered?
the countries in Africa?
How many times has he said,
You
what about
can't
him?
you
I'm
can't
sorry.
stay in
Because
America.
your points are invalid.
They are totally valid, and you're mad, and the inner colonizers waking up in you. I'm telling you, it's epigenetics. And this is why I'm saying give up on y'all. You are violent. Already the
never
violence
sleep.
is coming out.
So it's the white people in power giving up on me, myself, and who else?
No, we're giving up on you too. You have no power. And
Yeah, I said
giving up on you.
myself.
Yeah,
I said
fine.
so it's all white men. So it's all white men.
Look at how violent your mind thinks.
Is it all white men?
You're happy
is.
about conquering.
Okay. So you want to give up on, so how do you want to give up on them? Should they like lose their jobs?
I don't care what happens to you. I'm just not helping.
What do you,
do
I'm just
anything.
saying, what do you want to do?
Not
Like, you
help
want to
with
give up on them?
anything.
I'm
Not
sorry,
help
what was
you with
that?
Anything.
So
Don't tell him anything.
you don't have
Right.
to help. Like,
what
what about
leave us alone? Leave all
John Smith,
leave
who's a
all white-
firefighter,
John
doesn't
Smith,
need you?
Leave all white
I'm just giving
women,
you a random name.
leave all white women, black people, and brown people alone. Don't eat our food. Don't go into our restaurants. Just leave us all alone. Go.
So I should leave
huddle
my
with
white
men.
fiance.
Just go huddle with white men. You are more
So I should leave my fiance.
You are more likely to unalive her than anybody else. Go look at the stats.
So that means I'm going to unalive her?
I said you're more likely to. That's not what I said.
Okay, but I'm not going to do that because I'm
Do you
not.
have like a hard time listening? You should try.
Well, I'm not somebody who unalives people, so I'm not going to do that.
That's what that's what they say about a lot of the mass pew-pewers. He seemed like a really nice guy. We didn't see it coming.
Like, do you understand like how like extreme, like you're extreme you are?
Yeah, that's
Like-
what they said about a lot of the people in J6. They're so extreme.
Yeah, they're extreme too.
Yeah, and those are your people.
Yeah, and the people that
Why are you
get
mad that
14
why are
women
you mad
pregnant.
that we just don't want anything to do with you? Like, what's the problem?
No, I don't listen.
If you
Honestly, I'm
don't
better
care,
off
then
if
calm
you guys
down.
leave me alone.
Okay, bye. You
I'm
came up
better
to my
off.
panel. You came up here, and I told you the truth. You're
So I got
We're rejecting
a
you.
final question. Final question, then
Okay.
I'll leave.
Okay.
So why is it that country?
Girl, she done already done had hers.
That's where you belong. You don't get a final question. Like I said, we don't care. We do not care. Final question, these nuts. Okay, who else wants to be rejected? All right. Hi, Sir Nose. What would you like to add today?
I agree with you 1,000%. I know that those are Trump numbers, but I agree with you 1,000%. It's been 400 years. They had more than enough time. I won't even go back 400. Let's go back 60. Once the Civil Rights Act was passed, they should have known, okay, we are here. But the thing is, whites thought we would never reach their so-called level of humanity. In other words, be able to function without them. They thought we were basically farm implements, and we did. We survived. Not only did we survive, we thrived, and that pissed them off. Look at the Project 2025. Everything that's going on right now is all in Project 2025. Do you know they get pissed off? Imagine a policeman pulling over a black dentist in a real expensive car, more expensive than he is. He would literally unalive him, and this has happened. And guess who let the policeman go and wouldn't give the family any recompense from the unaliving? What's his name? He's one of the Supreme Court justices now. So they own the Supreme Court. Yeah, it's time to leave him alone. I don't want to start rambling. They serve no purpose for us. They want to unalive us or make us disappear, and that's not happening. I'm sort of old, but I'll fight to my last breath to protect my people. I love black people because I'm a black person. I know what we go to on a regular basis. Dude was all about whataboutism. And I think he mentioned that he had how can you even love black people? He claims he has a black wife or girlfriend. I think they get involved with black women just so a black man does not have access to them.
Well,
That's how sick white men are.
they've always
It's never been love. It's
No,
never been love.
they've always loved our bodies. If people didn't know this, a lot of enslaved African men actually didn't have an opportunity to reproduce. It was the slave owner that raped enslaved African women, and essentially were raping to breed us to make good economic, and have more slaves, more capital, so that's what was happening. And then when you see the big bustle skirts that white women were wearing, that's because they wanted to emulate having a big butt, like
Exactly.
black women.
Exactly. They had the nerve to call the Black Plague, which was all started by white people in Europe, the Black Plague. I mean, come on.
That's not true.
Real quick.
That's not true.
It's very true.
Hold on.
The Black Plague.
We have someone that needs to center themselves. Sarah, age and race.
18 and I'm white.
Okay.
Can I just clarify what you said
Did you
here
want
first?
to, no. You can put it in the comments. Did you want to ask me about the prompt, or did you want to say something specific that you heard? Because I know you were waiting in the queue for a minute.
No, you can tell me why you should time to give up on white men.
You didn't hear anything that I said before?
No, I wasn't in the live that long, bro.
Because it's pointless to continue to help them when you're black, brown, and a white woman.
Yeah, can you tell me why? What's your argument for that?
My argument for that is because they don't listen to us.
Yeah, again, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. White men do not really listen. Actually, they don't listen to black, brown, and really white women. They are overrepresented in positions of power, and I'm in the United States, so I care about the United States. And that when they do get into positions of power, they advocate for their self-interest. Even when you have someone that you can consider, thank you so much for the heart me. They don't move the needle far enough, in my opinion, to pass legislation and policies that support Black, brown, and white women. And when they do, it's awfully late, and it's usually because they have to be pushed in order to do it. And when you look at statistics, they are the most harmful demographic. And if there are white men out there that are doing the work, I call them non practicing whites, I would love and advocate that they do the work to help those that still need to do the work to unpack their racism. And hopefully they can be the ones that can dismantle systematic racism, which is the major problem in the United States. But until then, I want to focus on Black women, brown people, Indigenous people, and white women, and have us start building our own coalitions and focusing on our needs and not the needs of white men.
Great. So why should I accept your interpretation, which is subjective and not objective? This would be categorizing the whole white people, right? If your argument
White
is that
man?
it's
Well, I don't care
again,
what
if
you
your
accept.
if
You
your
don't have to
argument is
accept.
objective,
You don't have to accept anything. I think you're confused.
your
This
no,
is.
your
It says,
things are
"Ask me why." It says, "Ask me
yeah,
why,"
it's
and I. No, 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 no. Let me. You're confused. It says, "Ask me why." I told you why. If you accept it or not, I don't care. I'm giving up on you either way.
so you agree that your opinion's a fallacy,
No, I
right?
don't have to agree with you at all. I don't know if
No,
like you're
you
not processing this, and maybe this is the first time, like, because you're a white man that you've been like really rejected. But
what are you talking about?
I am here to tell and promote Black people, brown people, Indigenous people, and white women to give up on white men. That is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You are a
great.
white man. We're giving up on you, whether you like it or not. That's what I'm here to tell people to do. I don't care if you accept it. You could say it's an opinion, boo. That's cool. That's fine. You could keep
Yeah,
that. You could hold that. I don't want it. I don't want your
so
feelings either. You hold on to your
wait,
feelings.
so your opinion isn't actually truthful.
I don't care
Rather,
if
it's a
you
rad-
think, baby,
Wait, bro,
I don't gotta wait for
chill.
you, sweetheart, sweet 18-year-old boo.
Your
You my
opinion's in
nephew's
a
age.
fallacy.
Honey boo boo child. I don't care. If you say it's my opinion, cool. Sleep on that with your
It's a
pillow. I
fallacy.
hope. I don't care if it's a fallacy, if it's a fantasy, if it's a pot. I don't care. Honey boo boo
Don't you
child.
concession. I
Sweet, it's not
appreciate
a
it.
concession, sweetheart. It's not a debate. We're giving up on you no matter what. I'm sorry, go cry about it somewhere else. I will.
I'm very glad that you're aware that your
Sweetie.
I'm glad that you're aware that your opinion's
Guess
a
what?
fallacy.
Guess what, sweetie? Guess what? Guess
I
what?
Queen,
Guess
how
what?
old are
We
you,
do
bro?
not care. Oh, he's mad that he's
Queen,
being
how old are
rejected.
you?
He's
You're
mad that
like
he's being
50,
rejected. You
fam.
guys, point and laugh. Point and laugh. Guess what? Point and laugh. Yes, point and
I
laugh.
appreciate the clip, though. I appreciate the clip. Very good one.
You don't care. Bye, white man. It's not my opinion. We're giving up on you, sweetie, whether you like it or not. Come back again so I can reject you again. You've been rejected. You've been rejected. Oh, thank you for the May flowers. Listen, you're 18. I'm sure you were rejected a lot in high school. I can tell because you're like, that was a fallacy. That was a fallacy. Is that what you said when she said no? Where you're like, that was a fallacy. You can't say it's a fallacy when you did anything on here say that this was a debate? Am I debating you? No, I said it says join to ask me why. Why? Because I want to. Listen, y'all need to take your power back. I don't have to ask permission to give up on you. Who the hell are you? Do I look like I'm owned by a slave? I ain't got no damn slave owner, boo. Fuck is you talking about? If I want to give up on you, I'm done. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to inspire and get into the minds of all of y'all. Okay? Sir knows I'm going to drop you down, boo. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. I am getting into the minds of y'all, and I'm trying to make you give up on them too. That's what I'm doing. Okay. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, sorry I'm late,
Oh,
but I was
got it.
working.
Oh, I just been in here.
Period, kid. Period.
Thank you for joining the V Hive and not the Beehive. It's with a V. And Beyonce, we are happy with everything that you've done for the world. It truly is special. Well, since you are here, Bill, um, I haven't had an official mod announcement. Are you prepared to do one for me?
Sure. Good afternoon, niggas. Let's get to 50,000 likes. Queen is, oh my God, red is definitely your color. That camera is popping. Yes, period. But let's get to 50,000. And I know it's an afternoon, y'all. I know that people is at work or y'all really at work, but y'all ain't really doing nothing. Let's go ahead and put those finger hearts. Can we pin those real quick? Is that possible? She has the finger heart goal right now, so if we could go ahead and knock those out, that'd be great so I could keep my day job. Thank you so much, Block Daddy, for the daily heart me. Also, don't forget to tap the screen. And we have 92 shares, so that's pretty good. We're good right now. We don't want to get too many shares. Oh, thank you so much for that. That is so beautiful. Let's keep up with the gifts. Also, she has $34 left of her emotional labor fee. I would like to hear her say a thank you once in a while. So donate to the link in bio in the link tree. And yeah, make sure that you follow the queen. Follow me too. Shit.
Yes, definitely follow Bill. I sit on Just a Bill's live like every single night, essentially. And we do have a podcast on the two of you. And it is called The Blueprint with Bill and Verna. We are going over a series called The Depravity of Whites. And we have a season 2 where it's called They Ate People, y'all, where we are unpacking and sharing white culture with the whites. I'm actually doing you a justice. And in the first episode, I take you back 14,700 years ago, where I walk you through how culturally you all ate people. So check it out. The link is in my bio or Bill's bio. Go ahead and watch it. It's about 25 minutes long. Or you can go on Spotify or Apple. But yes, it has been fun and eventful. And in my opinion, I feel as though I have just only been proven that we should give up on white men. I don't think anybody has really convinced me that it's not correct. Let's see. Happy birthday to KCD EB58. Does that mean you're 59 now? No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Kiara. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Verna?
I'm doing well. Did you want to say something about the prompt real quick?
Go.
Yes, I think that as people of color, at the very least, we should have done this a long ass fucking time ago.
Right. And why is that, love?
Because when has the white man ever fucking done anything for us? When have the white man ever fucking acknowledged the evil atrocities that they put us through? Like, y'all want to sit there, like, people want to sit there and say, oh, it was because of the whites that the slaves were free. It's because of the whites that this. It's because of the whites that. No, the fuck it's not. First of all, they only freed the slaves because they thought it was convenient for them to do so because the slaves kept fucking revolting.
Right.
Like,
All right. Well, I appreciate you, love. It's good to hear from you. I'm going to drop you back down to the comments. Make sure you stay safe, and it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for dropping in, because I know that you be switching your profiles too much, girl. And I did want to shout out. Today is May 5th. So many of you know that it is typically Cinco de Mayo. However, today is also Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Day. If you did not know, there are 10,248 missing Indigenous people. I am wearing red today in representation for that. So if you do not follow Sajida or Gina, you should. Gina posts lives that are super impactful. I learn a lot sitting in there. She does have a lot of Indigenous people who go on her panel, and I call it free game because I'm learning a lot that I didn't know about Indigenous culture. And you would think that I would know more being in America, but they don't teach you any of this history. And also, Sajida and I are going to team up, and we are going to do book lives where we will be reading Indigenous people's history of America. So I will let you know when we do those lives together, because I think it is very important to understand the true history. I started reading it, and I was learning that a lot of the names that we have for things are horrible. And one of the names is Columbia. The word Columbia has like a terrible history of it. So if you're not following Sajida, find her, follow her. I did link her post in the block briefing channel, I think is what it's called. And go ahead and repost it so you can spread the word. Stop centering yourself, Everett. That is such a white man thing. You see why we got to give up on white men? He's doing it right now. And then follow Gina as well. She also has a foundation. The acronym is TIPM. It's for Indigenous people. It's a community where they have resources for one another. If you need access to that, I believe they have a Discord as well. You can reach out to me, and I can get you in touch with the right people that have that information. Yes, it is a missing, murdered Indigenous People Day. Oh, and there are 0 National Guard looking for these missing Indigenous people as well. So wear red today in honor of them. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. So, Bill, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I don't know if I ever asked you this question. What is your take?
Yes, I'm gay.
Huh?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. What is your take on it's being time to give up on white men?
Well, I thought about this, and I think it is. I had to hear you out first. And I like your plan. It's not just giving up. You're actually empowering us to focus on our own communities. And you know me personally, and that ring a bell up in my book. So yeah, if that means that we are gonna start focusing on our own and investing in our own communities and let white people figure it out. And if white women wants to join us because they don't have any rights under this patriarchy either, then yeah, I'm 100% for it.
Right. So I wanted to walk through, since it's just us here, I wanted to walk through several key ways that America has specifically created laws to build it just solely for white men, right? And I may be missing some, so feel free to let me know. But this is what I got so far. So let's start with the foundational legal structure, right? So the Constitution, right, of 1787 that counted enslaved people as 3/5 of a person for, of course, representation purposes, while denying them and women of all races, you hear that? Women of all races, any rights of citizenship, voting, or bodily autonomy. Okay. So white women, they didn't fuck with y'all either. Only white men could vote, own land, serve on juries, hold office, or represent others in court. Married women were subject to coverture, meaning they had no independent legal identity apart from their husbands. Okay. So Heather, big W's to the head of HR who just finished voting in Indiana. If you have not voted and you are in Indiana, Go ahead and vote. Make sure you vote. We need you to vote. Vote blue. I don't know what you're voting for. I think it's your primary.
Yeah.
So,
I believe the polls close at 7.
yeah.
So you guys
Polls
still
close
have
at
time.
7. My bad. I forgot what time. I just said vote blue just to say it. Okay. So write that down. In the Constitution of 1787, white women, you weren't included in that. It denied all races any rights, right? Oh, it is? See, this is why I call Erica the fairy god's sister of the block. Is that better? Did I do a good job? Do I gotta get lower? Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Then we're gonna jump to property and housing laws. Bill, thank you so much. Can you guess what act I am going to say was another act created that is building America for white men only? Thank you so much. Anybody know? Anybody? Let's see how educated everybody is. Anybody? Anybody?
Sorry, my dad was calling.
Thank you for joining the Beehive. And it is with a V, not a B, because Beyonce, we love everything that you've done for the world, because we know how the Beehive get. Do you know what the next act was after the Constitution of 1787 that is showing how America was built for white men? You want to take a guess?
The housing?
You're a little
I'm
bit
not
too.
sure.
It's in the past. All right, pay attention. The Homestead Act. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then. The Homestead Act distributed land to white settlers. It excluded Black Americans and Indigenous people. Redlining, authorized by the federal government, which you were talking about, is another housing law later on that locked Black families out of home ownership. So that happened later. But the very first one was the Homestead Act. Okay, think about it. As an Indigenous person, you got these colonizers coming up in here, and they like, we gonna give the white land. We're gonna give your land to the white people, right? So, refresher. Constitution 1787 counted enslaved people as 3/5 of a person, and then women of all races, it denied them of any right to citizenship, voting, and any bodily autonomy, right? And then there was also, under property and housing laws, racially restrictive covenants ensured in entire neighborhoods remained white, right? So this is talking about segregation. This is how they built it for white men. That was with what you're probably thinking of, Bill, the GI Bills and FHA loans. This helped build the white middle class while explicitly excluding Black and brown families, right? So this is when you start to learn about how they had the birth of the welfare queen eventually. So when I would even say, I think it's like I don't want to say it's unionized wages. I could be wrong. Union wages? I could be wrong with that. There's a certain word I'm missing. But when the GI Bill and even with the Federal Highway Act at that time, this contributed to white flight and a lot of like suburban infrastructure, but it was on purpose to not allow Black and brown families, is mainly targeted towards Black people, access to what they were trying to create, which was the nuclear family. And it forced Black mothers, which a high percentage of them were married, so wives and mothers, to stay working. So they were still working during this time, but it allowed white women, white mothers and wives to stay at home and start building this lie of like the stay at home mom and the lie of the nuclear family, right? And then they had the Federal Highway Act where they literally would like build in throughout Black neighborhoods. Bill, I'm assuming, I think there was like a neighborhood in Chicago that you were telling me was famous for that.
Yeah, and Chatham. Yeah, the Dan Ryan Expressway is literally right in the middle.
Right. This was all on purpose and by design. Okay. So that ended up giving like a negative outlook on like the Black family. Okay. But they set it up this way to separate, right? It's a form of segregation. You can actually look back and see how they would advertise buying homes. Essentially, yes, like Erica said, they redlined us. They would advertise to buy homes, letting you know where Black people were, and kind of like essentially say like your property value would go down, and like have scare white people into moving out of the areas. And then they made it almost nearly impossible to have upkeep of the homes for Black people. So then the property value would go down in the home. So they couldn't even afford to keep their homes up to date. Um, and yeah, so it was fucked up. So then also land promised to formerly enslaved people, 40 acres and a mule, was actually taken back, and then it was returned to the white planter class, right? So that's in the property and housing area of how America was built for white men. All right. Now we're going to go to immigration and naturalization laws. Oh, I don't know. Not right now, Nasir. Um, okay.
One.
Go ahead, love.
Um, this is so random, but if anybody wants to pin a comment, you can just, before you comment, you could look to your left and click that little cloud looking thing. And you could do a standard or a premium comment, and they'll pin your comment from 3 seconds or from 5 seconds to 16 seconds, depending on which one you choose. So I encourage that. Let's do that. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, for immigration and naturalization laws. So, in 1790, there is the Naturalization Act of 1790, which restricted citizenship to free white persons only. I don't know if people knew that that was a thing. And then in 1882, do you know what this one is?
1882. No.
This
I
is
hope
the
I don't lose my mind.
Chinese Exclusion Act, right?
Oh, yes. Okay.
This is like the very first immigration law based on a particular ethnic group. And that's all because, and it's very familiar, it sets a tone, because there was a group of a demographic that came in and were working really hard building a railroad, and white men were upset that they were doing a better job, right? And then there was also, after that, well, there was some time in between, and they're actually missing something in here. There was also something that I spoke about, how they actually made it to where if a woman married a man that was not a U.S. citizen, they would automatically lose their U.S. citizenship. Oh, Short Skirt said, I love you guys. Ha ha ha. I'm a Mayo monster slayer. W Short Skirts in the chat. And then it wasn't until after the 19th Amendment was passed that they rectified that. I believe it was the Cable Act. And I think that was 1922 where they reversed that. But it wasn't until 2014 that the Senate actually acknowledged all the women that were impacted by that during that time. However, when that occurred, the first time where they took women's citizenship away if they married somebody that what they was saying foreign born, there was a pathway to citizenship. It was only if their husband became a U.S. citizen. However, if their husband was Asian, it didn't matter because of the Chinese Exclusion Act at that time. Asian immigrants weren't allowed to become citizens anyway, so they just kind of were, ass out of luck depending on who they married, and that law did not apply to men. Right? Men were encouraged to marry. It was actually seen as like a good thing if they married a woman that was not born in the U.S. It was it's, whatever. There's a video on my page about it. So anyways, Then there was the Immigration Act of 1924, which enforced racial quotas and outright bans to maintain a white majority. If y'all didn't know that, that is a thing. And then we have the United States versus, oh God, I'm going to say this wrong. Bhagat Singh Thind in 1923. The Supreme Court ruled that whiteness was based on common understanding. Okay. Meaning white European and Christian rather than on scientific criteria. Schwarzkert says white men should marry each other. W, 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 W to that. Bill, did you know about that Supreme Court ruling?
No.
So yeah, so basically whiteness is just a common understanding. That's what whiteness means. So if you're white,
Oh,
you're if you're white, you're just a common understanding. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Hey Matt.
hey, Matt.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. You know, we were having fun earlier with people asking me why I shouldn't give up on them.
Oh, I know. I was listening. I was enjoying. I'm also enjoying the history lesson a lot. Uh, I just thought I would throw in one thing because you've hit on one thing that I also like to hit on a lot, which is the only reason why Middle Eastern groups are considered white in America is because they literally sued in the 1930s. They literally sued to be considered white. And they wanted to do so because they realized the extent of racism in America. And they knew how they were being treated. They're like, hey, wait a second. We want to be considered white by the U.S. government. Can we want to be included? And actually, the courts ruled that they would be, which is why America is the only place in the world, as far as every other place I've ever been, I wouldn't check white off. There's a separate category. You know, I would be Middle Eastern or Lebanese or whatever in some other way. But the United States, white, because they wanted that to be a thing. And it's wild that we have courts that were like, you're white, you're not white. That's how we were deciding that shit. Like, just to your point, that's insane that that's what was happening, right?
Like, so all white people should be Christian.
Apparently,
Right. I mean, according
is
to
that
that,
right?
it says a common understanding meaning white, European, and Christian. And so if you are claiming to be white and you're not Christian, you are violating the law and you should be about law and order. Some white guy
I
broke my
mean,
heart. Why do they always go to romance? You guys are weird. Like, you're over sexualized. It's very odd. Did something happen to you? But no, see, I'm actually really happy you said that because I have a lot of friends that are Middle Eastern, that are Iranian, Armenian, Pakistani, and number one, they do not, like Afghani, they do not look alike. Okay, they are literally different, literally different.
Francis needs help. Please, 5 minutes.
Okay, hold on, love. 1 second, love. They are literally from different countries. And 1 second. Can we all help my friend? Let's get him up to if we can get up to 1,000 coins, that would be lovely. Is Let's help him out while he is still here. He's just getting food for his family. We're gonna try to help you out, okay, buddy? And when you get to 1,000, if we can get you there, I'm gonna drop you down. I have a lot of friends from where I live. Like, like I live in a neighborhood that's like nicknamed like a city in that area, without giving it away. And I always wondered why they were considered white. And you just answered the question. Even they didn't know why. They're like, I don't know, but we were just told to put white on the application. I'm like, you're literally brown. Like, how are you white? And I felt like I was like from Mean Girls, like, if you're from Africa, how are you white? Like every single time. And like you just literally like told me, and it's actually pretty genius. And I would always argue that the reason why the median okay, because I'm in the Bay Area. I was like, the reason why the median household income is so high for white people, I think it's because it's a Middle Eastern community. I'm like, there's no fucking way that all these white people are making that much money. I was convinced. I was like, it has to be y'all. Y'all are fucking it up. No, no disrespect, but you
It,
guys need to change that.
it's entirely possible. I do have to say that it is one of the things I love to point out when people are like, systematic racism doesn't exist, or this isn't a big deal, or it's such. I'm like Middle Eastern people literally sued the American government so they could be white. Like they were like, we don't want to be something else. We want to be white. Like the amount of trouble that they went through so that they could be white and could have those advantages is it's insane. But when you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that actually does make a lot of sense, because why else would you do it? It's because there was a distinct advantage to being white.
Yeah. And they saw it. They knew it already in advance. And so I mean, I don't blame them for doing it. I mean, honestly, like it makes sense that they wanted to do that. And it's sad that they had to do that in order to be able to thrive here. But that just shows the system that we live in. And I would honestly love to see them help us dismantle the system. But I mean, is that really like their job to dismantle? That's why I'm putting it back on white men. And I mean, like you know, the European, white European Christian, right?
Well,
They
the one thing I wanted to say, and I want to let you get back to your I want to let you get back to your history lesson, because it's great and I'm enjoying it very much. I'll leave you alone. The one thing I did want to say is that I agree with your prompt times 100, and I just want to tell, if there's any other people in the chat or in the live, if you are white or white presenting or whatever it is, even if you're in a situation like mine, we are white in America. Okay, the end. You need to be doing the work for our brothers and sisters here, because there's no excuse at this point in time. They've done the work for so long and they've carried this burden and this load for so long. We have to do the work. We have to stand up. We have to say these things. And it's not just standing behind them and saying, okay, yeah, you guys, good job. We got you. It's standing in front of them and standing up for them in front of them. That's what needs to happen. That's 100% what needs to happen. If you're not doing that, then you're not really doing what needs to be done. Stand up and say something. Please, just please stand up and say something. Even if you don't have a platform, whatever, even if it's a microaggression in your everyday regular life, stand up and say something to somebody. Please do that, because that's the way that change will be made. And it needs to come from people who don't have darker skin. Period. The end. Please do that. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox and I'm going to leave you alone, friend. Okay.
I'm gonna kick him off it right now. Drop it like it's hot.
Do it.
All
Okay.
right, you heard him. Okay, we do have somebody in the queue.
Guys, don't forget you could pin your comment now. Just before you comment, look to the left, and you could pay for a 5-second or 16-second. It's really cool.
Okay, cool. I know. I don't know if they're gonna load. Someone said, not a Karen. That's funny. I don't know if they're going to load. Karen, you're not loading. Do you want to come back? Okay, back to the history lesson. Okay, so now we're going to go into civil rights in the section of legislation, right? So, of course, we have the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment ended slavery in name, but left behind convict leasing and mass incarceration. I don't know, Bill, if you were in here when the white guy said that he was okay with anybody in prison losing all of their rights. And like he was like happy that they were slaves in prison. Were you in here for that?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that when somebody says that?
I mean, that's inhumane.
Right.
That's that's unimaginable.
There is I'm pretty sure it's in our constitution, like not to have like cruel and unusual punishment. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
that's in there.
Yeah, can't do
Yeah.
that.
So and I
That's why they have to have food and meals and stuff. Yeah.
exactly. And the fact that he was okay with the same type of slavery, which is chattel slavery, being committed on people who are in prison is wild to me. And that has to be some type of epigenetics that is passed down um, through their DNA, which is solidifying why I'm like, y'all, it's time to give up on these white men because it's violence. And the more you tell them history and the truth of what actually happened, the colonizer starts to wake up in them and starts to be seen. And I feel like I should study it because when you start to tell them true history, they get very angry about it, and it's just telling you what happened. We focus a lot on the trauma of what happened during chattel slavery, what happened to us. And Bill, I know we talked about how it's important to remind who was holding the whip, who was the one holding the reins or the weapon or committing the acts so that we know who created the problem, who is the culprit, right? The culprit is still in power, and until the creator of it takes responsibility of dismantling it, we're not going to heal the country, right?
Right. And it's not about, oh well, I wasn't there back then. Well, that's the thing, is that we're descendants of that. So, you still have that in your blood. And when you say things like, I don't care about how people are treated in jail or their conditions and things like that, that's part of that mental state that's dangerous, and that needs to be deconstructed.
And when you look through the movements that we have had, the civil rights movement, any movement that you've seen us go through in history, when you look at the footage, it's us as African Americans, Black Americans, trying to tell you that we are humans, right? I don't know. Can I get some, I don't know, some ones in the chat if you all know what the movie Birth of a Nation is? Can I see how many people know what the movie Birth of a Nation is? Okay. Want to make sure I get the actual asshole who like made the damn film. Okay, yeah. Okay, quite a few, quite a few. Great. So, Birth of a Nation. I'm just going to read the synopsis in case you don't know what it is. Okay, thank you, Sick of Society. Okay, thank you, Fornati. Birth of a Nation is a 1915 American silent, and this is how they describe it, silent epic drama film directed by D.W. Griffith and starring Lillian Gish. The screenplay is adapted from Thomas Dixon Jr.'s 1905 novel and play The Klansman, a historical romance of the Triple K. Griffith co-wrote the screenplay with Frank E. Woods and produced the film with Harry Atkin. The Birth of a Nation is a landmark film Film, a landmark of film history, lauded for its technical veracity. It was the first non-serial American 12-reel film ever made. Its plot, part fiction and part history, chronicles the um, unaliving of Abe Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth and the relationship of two families in the Civil War and Reconstruction eras. Over the course of several years, the pro-Union Stonesmen and pro-Confederacy Camerons. And then it goes on. Now, the way that it is read to you, it sounds like, oh, it's this great piece of work. That and they lightly go over how it's a romance about the triple K. In this film, it's an atrocity. And there's blackface in it. There's a scene where a woman leaps to her unaliving because she'd rather unalive herself than get touched or raped by a black man, because there's a man in blackface. There's blackface all over there. I'm pretty sure they swing and tree a black man. That's where the triple K got the burning of the cross. The burning of the cross was created or inspired the triple K from the birth of the nation. The birth of the nation is what really helped continue to paint Black Americans, Black people as animalistic, and continue the narrative that Black men are going to harm white women, right? And as we know, there is documented continued evidence of how that narrative continues to be pushed. And this is again why in my prompt, I do not leave you white women out. Now you would be like, if white women continue to say that Black men did this, why are you including them in this? I know there are people that are like, these bitches are harmful because of what I'm saying. We need to leave them alone. I get it. I'm also strategic. I'm thinking numbers. They outnumber these motherfuckers. And if they stop, creating these fuckers, then they can go extinct. But that's a scientific conversation for another day. I'll prepare the science and facts behind that for another live. However, the only time, white women, you are ever believed that you are assaulted is if you say it was a Black or brown man. Do you not see that? Do you not see that? When are you gonna see that? That they never ever believe
Damn.
they
Shit.
do you not see that by now?
Damn.
Thank you. Did I not have a bar right there? White women,
Right.
they never believe you unless it's a Black man or a brown man. E-files, they don't care if you're a child, a baby. As long as it's a Black or brown man that you are saying it is, they will believe you. Even if you're fucking lying, they will burn the cities to the ground. They will harm a child for you if you say it's Black or brown. But the moment you say it's a white man, bitch, you're lying. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And and can I ask something about Birth of a Nation? This wasn't like a bootleg movie that was shown in people basements and the triple K was, passing it around and it was a movie that only the white people knew about. Oh no, this was shown in movie theaters.
Period.
This this was one of the most successful movies around that time. The lines were out the door for this movie. The reviews were insane. Look it up. It was newspaper. It was headline newspaper. That's how wonderful these people enjoyed that movie. So yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah, it was sick. It was sick. And yeah, you've committed atrocities. You cry, you love asking if people are, you think you're the managers of Black people a lot, because they were her property too. Yeah, you need to deconstruct.
We did it. We
Oh,
did it,
big
Joe.
W's to Chrissy for becoming a super fan. I really appreciate it. Oh, that was beautiful. Now you unlocked more stickers. If you would like to become a super fan, I really appreciate you. That's awesome. But yeah, Aaron, I know you just joined. I hope your live went beautiful. Did you want to add anything to what you just heard?
Well, first, I want to give kudos to my creative director, a background slayer who is Queen V
Those
Lee.
colors were cute, huh?
It was popping. I felt like I've been walking. It was amazing. It was great. I felt the energy. I appreciate you. Because I don't know how to do none of this stuff. I've had to figure out on the fly how to add mods. You would have been proud. But but no, but thank you. But no, that is every day someone says stuff that just like, well, damn. And the fact that when you said when white women are great, unless it's a person of color, they're not immediately believed. And when you think about it, it's like, damn, that is right.
Yeah.
Think of how hard they have to fight. Like, I'm thinking of that lady in Canada who was great by the hockey team and all of the stuff that they had to go through, and they were found not guilty, but they absolutely destroyed that woman's character because they were white. But had it been, and I'm going to be flamboyant, had it been a savage, oh, call them off.
Right.
We're taking them all out. But dang, that was deep.
And then look at the
That was deep.
comments. Look at their violence. Who has the most APs? Who has the most tickle? Blah, 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 blah. They're so over sexualized. They're so over sexualized. I don't know who touched you. I don't know why you continue to think that this is about relationships, that this is about romance. I know that it's in your DNA because it was illegal for your kind to grape enslaved African women, right? So maybe the colonizer in you is looking at me and you're like, legally, I can just have my way with you. And that's why you go to sexualization. I don't know what happened to you when you were younger. I was protected in my home. My father protected me. Okay, so your assumptions has nothing to do with my prompts. I would love for white men to focus on white men. We are not safe with you. White women aren't safe with you. Black people aren't safe with you. Brown people aren't safe with you. Indigenous people aren't safe with you. That is it. That is the whole point of my prompt. Okay. I can dive deeper, but you're rejected. Okay. Y'all don't even, you're violent towards us anyway. Okay? You don't want to be gentle. You made it very clear. You'd rather uphold the patriarchy, and the patriarchy harms you. And I do have studies on that. I do have statistics on that. And do you think that I'm going to trust studies that are skewed? Okay? You can continue to believe the white lie, my love. I'm pretty sure you don't they don't even know how this country was even created, like the reason why we're even the United States. Like, go together in your own little Appalachia area and be punching yourselves in the face, waiting for whatever revolution you think you're gonna have. I don't know. But there is not one thing that y'all have built on your own that's for the betterment of humanity. Name it. I asked a guy that, Aaron, you know what he said to me? He was like, "We conquered America." I'm like, "Conquering?"
Stole it?
So conquering, you think that's betterment? He's like, "Well, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us." You think I want You stole your kid. So you're telling me because you kidnapped us, I should be grateful? Be for real. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. I'm pretty sure independent, y'all stole
How was
it
that a
from
comeback?
someone. You stole it from someone. I guarantee you stole it. You stole it. Marie Curie, they stole her shit. Like, be for real.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, you get upset because you know I'm right. and just accept it. It's fine if you accept it. And I'm not saying like y'all got to go away. No, I want you guys to be better humans, but it's like, why do we got to help you? Like, you guys don't like us.
You know, and that was one of the points that was making Brown. Listen. It did not help that I was in the spirit of Alex before I hosted my live, because I was already on 10. And then you had this man with his microaggressions trying to white explain things to me. So I invoked the spirit of Alex, and I was just not holding back, right? But still sensible because, I was on my own shit and I didn't want to get taken down. But and it was a great live for me because it showed how, and it furthered what your point, want to do too much intellectual labor. But it shows that, as in that instance, as a Black woman, I knew everything. Not saying I know it all, but I was able, yes, the spirit Alex. I was able to go into depth about his talking points, right? Then he would pivot to something else. And then he's over the microaggressions. Well, you are very intelligent. You are you are very smart. Like, it's not the first time I've heard that. Like, that doesn't do anything for me. But the fact that he didn't know anything, and it boiled down to white fragility, that they are able to understand that, hey, if you're not your ancestors, then you wouldn't still, if you, Oprah's not my queen. I go against any man that tries to denigrate a Black woman and her contributions to society, right? Because give me a Black man that has contributed to society like she has, then we can have a discussion. Doesn't matter. That's not my queen. I don't care if you, who the fuck are you? You follow me, I don't follow
Okay,
you.
hold on before you get into that.
Sorry.
Big
Anyway.
W's to Bill for the $4 on the Cash App that says yes, queen. And that brings me to $23 left on my emotional labor fee. So if you are enjoying the education and the live today, links are in bio. Just a little emotional labor fee. Before you keep going, I want to just bring in Anyo Nate. Oh, is that Anyo Nate? I hope I'm saying that right. Anyo Nate 2.
Any on 8? 2?
I don't know. Anyo Nate. I'm sending you invites to unmute. Going once, going twice.
Sold to the cheap seats.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, so it was like, so I like the conversation. One, that's the type of time I'm on forever in a day. Two, it just shows the level of ignorance, of not knowing anything in depth, saying that you're for something, but then voting a different way. And then when you're calling on it, oh, you want to lump everyone together? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And then you got this Black man down here who I asked him, he was coming up trying to bash Oprah. Whether you like Oprah or not, that's fine. But what I will not do is I will not denigrate what she has done for the Black community. Now, I don't have to agree with everything that she's done. And then when I stop you from doing that, especially on a panel hosted by a Black woman, you have not, name any other Black leader, male leader, that has made it from nothing to her, that has done something for the entirety of the community like she has, that have representation on media for over 30 years, that has literally built the Smithsonian, has funded HBCUs, has funded all kind of scholarships, Morehouse, all of these institutions. And I'm not letting you denigrate that. And you talking about I'm doing work of white supremacy? You're doing the work of white supremacy. All because you're listening to white people denigrate her. Now, did she do that fucked up shit with the color purple? Absolutely. She's a capitalist. That you can have critiques without demeaning someone's legacy. You need to do better.
Wow.
So if a Black man is not going to be allowed to do that, why would you tear down a Black woman who did? Think about it. Do better.
It was about the color purple.
When the pay differences that she paid with Monique and Taraji and like they signed contracts that were well below their worth, their value of pay, and it was a big hub to do, and it was wrong. That was unfettered capitalism. That was absolutely not paying people what they were worth. Does that denigrate everything that she's done? No. But was that fucked up? Absolutely. You can critique, hold them accountable without destroying the legacy of what they've done.
Oh, okay.
And he, like a little bitch, ran with his dick between his balls,
Hey, I
between his
like
ass, tucked,
I like Cerno.
because he was in his fifis. And all of a sudden,
So
to be
the
mad because the
reason
stranger on the internet lost respect for me. Oh no.
so the reason why I didn't pay for it. If y'all help me with my y'all help me with my goal.
Every time that gets me.
So, but I will say this: I'm not a big fan of Oprah. Like as on a personal, but the reason why I'm not a fan of Oprah, she does do good work. I know she has like help like the community and
Right,
stuff.
but she does some fucked up shit.
But the reason why this is gonna be, I don't know if this is a hot take, and this was like in 2000, I think 2013.
Mhm.
I hope it's not controversial, but the reason why I don't really like Oprah is because she said that she doesn't, she can't stand people who use the N word, and she tried to tell Black people not to use the N word, and I didn't like that very
Mhm.
much. And my dad told me, he was like, "Don't let nobody tell you can't say nigga," and so I was like, "Yeah, Oprah, the fuck, Oprah, you ain't gonna tell me I can't say nigga." So
Mhm.
that's why I didn't fuck with Oprah, is because she tried to tell me I
Mhm.
couldn't say nigga. But that's about as far as it
Right.
goes. That's it. Like, I don't
I
know if
mean,
it's
there.
that impactful. Like,
Right.
it might be a little stupid. But that
No,
was
yeah.
serious for me in 2013. Okay.
Right.
Like, that was
And no one is above critique or approach. There's plenty of things I could talk about Oprah. What she did in Hawaii with not opening up her lands during the fires. When she when there's several things that she has done that I don't rock with, right? I don't agree with. But I'm not going to tear down a Black woman's legacy for doing that. Period. Period.
come to
No, no, don't put sick of society. You know I love you. But Oprah, Dr. Phil, and Dr. Oz should not be in the same sentence. Those Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz are frauds.
Which I stated.
And did I disagree?
Hey,
No.
Erica. If y'all want to, hold
You
on, before y'all
pivoted.
get into
That's
it,
what you
before
did.
y'all get into it, hold on. If y'all would like to know more about TIPM, Erica Sunchild is the person that has the information, because again, today is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Day, and there are 10,248 missing Indigenous people and 0 National Guard looking for them. And if you want to honor them, wear red. And I do believe she is a part of the Discord that Gina is running. And I'm sure if you're interested and you want to be a part of it, Mr. Bella, uh, that is a community that I know you're in here, that I wanted you to be a part of, because I know that you are Indigenous, and I've been trying to get you with your people, because you all the way up there in New York. And Gina be talking to a lot of people, yo people. And it would be great for you to, connect with your people. So Black and brown unity, y'all. So wear red to honor them. And I'm sure she can hopefully get you more information. So thank you, Erica, for being here, because I know you be having the information. Cool. All right, go ahead, y'all. So Oprah, what'd she do? What happened?
Didn't she refuse to help some Black guys who drew up a perspective on a business venture because they didn't include white people, white involvement? That's another thing she did that just came to mind. True enough, yes, she does the little secretive of helping college kid HBCUs.
Can you give
and
an
things of that nature.
example of that first thing that you mentioned? Because
I
that
just
was a
told
rumor at one point that had been
Black
debunked years ago. Can you tell me where
entrepreneurs.
I can find that information?
Look it up.
I have
I
looked
don't
it
work
up.
for nobody.
I
I don't
have
work for
looked it up.
nobody.
And in fact,
Then look it up
I
again.
wanted to make sure I was correct.
I'm
So
not up here. Actually, I'm not up here to argue with you, Liz.
I actually went to the Google and I said Oprah refused to fund a program that didn't include white people. There is no evidence that Oprah Winfrey refused to fund a program specifically because it didn't involve white people. The claim appears to be a distortion or misunderstanding of various philanthropic activities, specifically a 1996 project aimed at lifting people out of poverty, which is often misconstrued in online discourse. Headline Hoochie. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so it's a misunderstanding.
I love the anger. I love this because I'll never change about Oprah. I know exactly what she is. She's a date poor girl from Mississippi, got rich. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. I'm gonna say it. I hate to say it, but a lot of us, we get rich and we forget who the fuck we are. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Oprah in a nutshell. Yeah, she threw a couple of dollars at HBCUs and a couple of little so-called, but she's basically anti-black. I'm gonna say it like that. Leave it.
How
like
is she
that.
anti-black? Explain.
Hold on, Aaron. Why do you feel like what leads you to say that she's anti?
Because the people she chooses to spend her time with. That's one example. She
Which is
runs
who?
the
Who did you spend her
Bezos.
time with?
Bezos. She used to be friends with Trump at one time.
Okay.
So was every black
And somebody
entertainer in the 90s.
Wasn't she interviewed and asked, how do we end racism? And she said, we just got to let them underline. Come on.
No, that was Morgan Freeman who said that. That wasn't
No,
Oprah.
Morgan
That was
Freeman
Morgan
never said
Freeman
anything.
said that the
Yeah,
reason
she
why we
said it
end or
too.
the way that we end racism is
not
we
gonna
stop
argue with
talking
you.
about it. That was the exact quote. And that was
That's
Morgan
what he
Freeman.
said. That's what he
That
said.
was Morgan Freeman.
But Oprah said we need to let them unalive. That's what she said about racists. And I'm pretty sure she's more on the side. Like I said, she has a lot of money and she spends her time most of the time. And like you said, I think you said this about what she did with the color purple and things of that nature. Yes. Was Taraji lying? Was Taraji Henson lying on her?
Okay, so
Hello?
what I got from what you said, Sir Knows, is you don't like the people that she surrounds herself, that, lack of a better term, are in her class, right? Like you said, Bezos. And you did also include Trump, which I know Trump is extremely problematic. I don't really follow Oprah like that. Is Oprah still in contact with Trump? I have not heard of her.
No, I would.
Okay.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
What you mean? Probably not. What?
I
Okay,
don't know
let me
for
calm
sure.
down. Hold on, sir. I'm gonna calm down because that's not the vibe here. We are all acting like this woman wasn't 100% 10 toes down for Kamala Harris.
Right.
She was one of Kamala Harris' largest donors, period.
Hold on one second. Hillary said Black women deal with that every day on TikTok. W's to Hillary in the chat for utilizing the new feature where you can pin comments. Go ahead, Bill.
Can I say something real quick and I drop down again?
Well, Bill wanted to land his plane real quick and then.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh, no, I was done. That's what I said, period.
What I wanted to say, Sir Knows, is what I'm gathering from you is, because I know that you are more of a socialist, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I am sensing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you are uncomfortable with the capitalist side of Oprah. Am I correct?
Exactly. I cannot argue with you. Exactly. Not just Oprah.
So you are suspicious.
Not just Oprah. I'm sorry.
Suspicious of Oprah's intentions because of the amount of money that she has. Am I correct?
Yes, because I remember one thing, a statement she made once about, do you know she had a gathering for her employees? Now tell me if I'm right or even mentioning this. She had a gathering of her employees maybe 10, maybe less years ago. Do you know she had 33 employees? And I think 3 or 4 of them were Black.
And this was
she said her grandmother, she said her grandmother told her, get you some good white people to work for you, which I guess she thought, which is no point.
Bill, you're breaking up. How long ago was this? You said 30 years ago?
Oh, when she had the gathering, that might have been 8 to 10 years ago. Not even that long. The editor, the chief guy in her Oprah magazine, or the maybe second in command is a white guy.
Okay. So so do you think that Oprah is anti-black?
I really do with all my heart. That's why. And not because she's a woman. And I feel the same way about rich black men that seem to have lost their way because they got money.
So anytime a black person is able to reach Emery, I invited you up so that I could answer your question. I'm not going to answer your demands in the chat, but you dropped down. So for you, anytime a black person gets to a level of wealth, you are under the assumption that they automatically become anti-black.
Not so much anti-black, but in a sense, they forget where they come from. The young lady mentioned Morgan Freeman. Yes, he did say that. And Morgan Freeman was born in the 1930s or 40s in Mississippi. Arguably the racist country in America.
May I point something out to
I'm
you?
sorry. Go ahead.
You said forget where they come from. You are now making an assumption that all black people come from the same spot. What spot is that?
I didn't say that, dear. I didn't.
You said
Where we come from oppression, we did come from a country that looks as us as being less human beings than the average person.
So do you think
and both of them come I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So do you think that once you have money that you no longer experience racism?
I won't say that, but I think people become more acceptable of it. And I'm gonna say it again. Morgan Freeman grew up in one of the most racist countries during Jim Crow, and he's talking about does not just talk about it, and racism gonna go away. Think about that. Think about that.
You're using like individual people, but I'm having a broader conversation with you, which I think is very important, right?
Okay.
And these are conversations that I have with a lot of leftists. Yeah, you definitely can, Erica. Feel free to request up. And I think it's a healthy conversation for us to have, right? Because what you're saying is what a lot of people are trying to convince me of doing is that we need to dismantle classism first and not racism.
I agree. Well, maybe not both of them
But I
simultaneously.
don't agree with that. I will not focus on classism until we dismantle racism. Because even if you have wealth, us as black people, will never benefit from racism. There is no way that we can sit here and say that Oprah, just because she is wealthy, does not experience racism as a black woman. There's no way we can confidently say Morgan Freeman, just because he's in a certain class, doesn't experience racism in a racist country. That is an assumption that we're just making because we see celebrities literally as objects to us because they're othered, because they're celebrity. Bill, Erica did want to ask a question. If it's okay, can she go and then you go?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, go ahead, Eric.
My questions are really specific. The first one, sir, whatever your name is, did you acknowledge the fact that one of the main contributors financially to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. is indeed Oprah? Also, in addition, Oprah also, during her, I guess you could say her first millions that she reached, she was in Africa, because they did the comparison between her and Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian threw a fashion show in Africa that a lot of impoverished people couldn't afford, but Oprah was out there feeding the impoverished. She was in a t-shirt and jeans. So I'm kind of confused where you are getting this, like it seems like you're more into tabloids and gossip than actually paying attention to what Black entrepreneurs are actually doing. Because I recall Oprah was actually accredited for employing people of color and that she was a good employer to work for. The only person that I heard as far as the TV streets was concerned that was a terrible employer to work for was Ellen. So if you're going to cite something, I've just asked, like, going forward, you provide some source because you're all over the place. But my main question, like I said, did you know that she was one of the main contributors to the African American Museum?
Yes, I do, and I also knew she started a school in Africa because she said black girls in America did not want to be educated, which we know is a lie.
Where did she say that? Where's the
She
source for
said that
that?
was shortly after she started the school in Africa.
No, I need.
Didn't it have some controversy under it too? After she started it, didn't it have a little controversy? Or are you too young?
Okay,
to
so
remember?
Erica, is it okay we stick to one claim? So,
Yes.
so I did some homework while you guys were speaking, and you said that Oprah said that she got some good white folks. Now,
Well, she should get some good white folks to work for her.
Yep, I know about all of that. So I actually took some time to listen to the speech, and I'm gonna say this respectfully: if you're a monster, because if you take
Who did I harm? Who did I harm?
He didn't laugh.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
if you listen to that speech, I would educate everyone on this. The speech was actually about her grandmother, guys, and her grandmother was a maid, and her grandmother didn't think that Oprah would actually. She didn't see this life for Oprah, so she told Oprah that I hope that you get some good white folks like I did. So when Oprah won the award for The Help, she spoke about this in her acceptance speech. And she said that now the tables have turned. And I wish that my grandmother could see the good white people that is under my domain. So I don't know if you don't understand what that means, but what she thought is her grandmother would never see the day that white people would be working for her. You are ignorant and you are anti-black.
I'm pro-black as a motherfucker. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, you so pro-black that you're anti-black.
Because of one person. I'm anti-black because I spoke against one person. Come on.
It's problematic. It's what you're doing right now is problematic if you don't take time to fully listen to the message and then spread it. That's why Bill is saying that you're so pro-black that you end up becoming anti-black. You have to be. It's dangerous what you're spreading, right? Like Bill sat there and listened to the entire speech, and he is telling you that you didn't have the context correctly, but you didn't listen to the whole speech, and then you kind of fell for the propaganda of it, and it's harmful, right? Oh, you can't hear me well? I'm sorry.
I hear you very clearly, but I'm gonna be respectful not to disagree with you without being disrespectful. Nothing's gonna change my mind. Now you can say call me any names that you choose to.
I didn't call you a
But
name.
my
I was
feelings,
explaining.
not you. I'm talking about the guy who tried to call me a monster. What I'm saying is, I know how Oprah is. Now you don't have to believe it or like. I grew up when Oprah first had Chicago AM. Do you know that was the name of her show in the beginning? Chicago AM or AM Chicago, one of them. I'm old, so.
And it seems like you're having difficulty remembering timelines, and you still haven't provided sources.
But I know what she did when she threw that gathering for her employees.
Yes, sir. I need you to provide a source because what you are committing.
It's a breath.
No, so you have not cited a source. One of the sources you provided, Bill had already proved that you had the context inaccurate. So your timelines are off. You're not providing any sources.
All he did was elaborate on what I heard.
He's not elaborating. He's actually providing the context of the source that you use to try to support something that isn't true.
W. Hillary, she said, are people not allowed to change? W. Hillary for the pinned comment in the chat.
Yes, thank you. And it's not called Chicago AM Queen. He again don't know what he's talking about. The radio station that she started out on was
I'm
WVON.
talking about the television show.
Excuse me, sir.
You said radio show.
You know, host queen, respectfully, I'm gonna drop down because I'm not gonna
You
go
should.
through this.
Listen, you can drop
I'm not
down, but
going.
Bill is from Chicago. Like,
So am I.
respectfully.
And so am
that's
I.
why he said something. And you
Since
went
'61.
you went from radio show to TV show when he
No, I
show,
said
Yes,
AM meaning in the morning.
Sir knows.
AM
Sir
meaning
knows.
in the morning.
said
Sir
radio.
knows.
You said radio. You didn't say
You did.
No, I never said radio. I said
So-
Chicago AM.
So,
Yeah.
sir,
and then I changed
that
it to
is a AM
Chicago.
is a radio. Like
No,
AM, FM.
AM means in the morning.
No. Yes, it is a radio station, you nitwit.
The what? I'm talking about
So,
the television
hold on,
show.
you guys. Erica, then what does FM
Let me
refer
check.
to? What does FM refer to? When you
You
hear
talking to me?
FM, yeah, when you hear FM, what do you assume?
Some frequency. But PM is what is the opposite of AM. You know that also, don't you?
You do
What
also
is-
know that you
All
just
you gotta do is
know what you're
Google.
talking
All you
about.
gotta do is Google.
No,
Okay, I don't
you
know.
haven't.
And you weren't even born when
Sarah knows.
show
Okay,
first came on.
listen. If you want
I'm
to
good.
be somebody that educates the younger generation, you can't combat with us like this. We sat here and we Googled like you told us to Google. Bill read through it. He gave you the context, and then you got angry with us. We've been doing what you told us to do as our
You
elders.
just told me it was a radio show and told me that.
You're not
I
receiving
got much
it well.
respect for you, Queen, so I
And
better
I
go.
understand that, and I'm being respectful, but you're not really respecting the panel.
Yes, you are.
But you're not respecting the panel. And we are the next generation. We're not doing anything wrong. We read it. You didn't have the context right. It's okay to say
The man called me a monster. I didn't even say nothing.
okay. Well,
Be called a
if you're not
monster.
a
I don't like
monster-
Oprah.
If you're not a
Sir,
I
monster,
don't
you
like
kept-
Oprah, and ain't nothing gonna change it.
okay,
Sir, you
that's
kept
fine.
cutting Bill off. You kept
You take it
cutting
easy,
Bill off.
Queen.
Excuse me, sir. I need you to calm down, and I hope you're still listening. You kept cutting the host off. You kept cutting Bill off. You used a microaggression against an educated Black woman, which is when I came in, which was Erin, talking about she's angry, and you don't even know her personally to say that. Every time somebody brought up a source, you were laughing because that was something that you struggled with. I would be laughing at myself and looking more inward because you didn't provide not one source.
What a day. What a day. Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys, but yes, he kept cutting you off, and I was trying to listen, and the same thing that he thought that Aaron was doing, he actually was the angry
Yeah.
one. So
I just wish that he would just take a moment to like hear what we were saying instead of like listen to respond. Because what I was getting at was what I was receiving is that the disdain really for Oprah is her class. That was the core of it. Because he brought up Bezos out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, so it sounds like you don't like Black people. Bill, I don't know if like you're still in the panel. But I wanted you to hear this and chime in and see if I got this on the right page. It sounded like he didn't like Oprah and Morgan Freeman because they accumulated a certain amount of wealth, right? Because he said that to both. And then he also said that they forgot where they came from. And Bill, I don't know if you caught that because there was a lot going on. And that, to me, I have an issue with because that assumes that all Black people come from a certain place. And he was like, yeah, we're all oppressed. Yes, we are oppressed. But the context of how he was applying it made it seem like we all come from an impoverished space. If I got that wrong, let me know if I'm like reading that wrong. And
Yeah,
that made me feel like he was kind of anti-Black because it's like, no, we're not. That no, like give Black people a little bit. Like what?
Yeah, and we deal with that shit a lot in the hood. As soon as somebody come up or something like that, they get a new car or something like that, motherfuckers gotta hate or be a crab in a bucket or something like that, because we just all gotta be, in one position. So like I used to say with Barack Obama, I don't know if y'all want him to come down here, start just giving out checks and cards and all of this shit. Like I don't know what you want out of this man.
That's what it
You
felt
know.
like, and it was like he was upset that she was at, and he even agreed. I was like, it seems like your issue is capitalism, like, and that Oprah is at a certain class because you brought up Bezos, and then but we knew that, like, is she applying um and then he's just applying it to Oprah harshly because of the fact. I think that's what Aaron was getting, because she's a Black woman, and like that was offensive. It's like, but I feel like she's using her wealth in a positive way of supporting Kamala. I mean, if you're going to get there as a Black woman, hopefully like you are opening the door, right, to uplift the community. I mean, it technically is a requirement, but hopefully that is what we're doing for each other. And I think that we should be fighting racism first, because that is something that we can never utilize as Black people in this country and needs to be dismantled. And that isn't something that we're going to be able to dismantle, which brings me back to my prompt, which is why we are giving up on white men. Oh,
I agree.
hey,
My bad,
Aaron.
yeah.
Welcome back, Queen.
Sorry, clients call, my money comes first. I got bills to pay.
I understand that.
How did it end with Sir Nose? What did he say?
He crashed the fuck out and he kept cutting Bill off. Bill watched the whole video. He still did not provide a source. And then Queen V asked him a question. She was like, it seems like you have a problem with capitalism. Because he was implying, like, if you elevated financially as a Black person, that you therefore are anti-Black. It was giving very much tabloid. Like, he watches a lot of the tabloids. He couldn't get his timelines right. What else, Queen V? Did I miss anything?
He didn't get his timelines right. Bill did what he said that he should do, which is Google it. Googled it, and got the context, explained it to him. He didn't like that Bill called him a monster, whatever. It is what it is. And I tried to talk to him about, like, is the issue capitalism? Is it not capitalism? Because but then I didn't like that he implied that she's forgetting where she came from, as if all Black people come from a certain starting point. And I do feel like that's something that is like a stereotype of, like, all Black people come from like a certain impoverished state of being, that I didn't really like that he was implying, right? But at the same time, I
Right.
feel like Oprah does try to give back to our community, at least how wasn't she like investing in Kamala Harris's campaign? Like, to compare her to Jeff Bezos, and I feel like he was doing the opposite. He was investing in Trump's campaign. It was a little wonky there. And then he also brought Morgan
Right.
Freeman into it, like he forgot where he came from. And I'm like, okay. I wanted to dig deeper into, do you want to fight classism before racism? But we didn't really get there because he was really stuck on Oprah, unfortunately. And then he respectfully exited, is what he said. So that was the end of that.
Yeah, because like there's always critique in like how someone does it. I'm for y'all know me. I'm for critique. When you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. But denigrating Black people and holding them up to the system that was created by white people, and they have thrived in this system and give back in this system. Could they give back more? Possibly. We don't know all that they do. Right? But to say that because they hang out with white people or they live in a rich area, that they've turned their back on the community, that's some sucker shit. And that's lazy. I'm sorry. If I don't care who you are. If you make it and you're able to afford a bigger house or do all this stuff, there's no problem with you moving to a quote better neighborhood and still investing in the neighborhood you grew up in. Like LeBron James, even though he had that sucker shit when he talked about Memphis, he is a great example of that. He still gives back into the community that he came from. He don't live there no more, but he has still hired the people he grew up with. He's put money back. He's put his school there. He's constantly going back, putting in resources to elevate his community. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Nope, not gonna say it. Not today. I've had enough. I had enough um stuff today. Kendrick Lamar, exactly. There's nothing wrong with moving to better pastures. Nothing. And that's not, I hate that. I take that back. It is not better pastures. There's nothing wrong with moving and putting yourself in a different environment. And you can still remember where you came from as you're doing that. Why is struggle the markers of if you are real or not? That's sucker mentality.
Right.
Also, too, I got all that list. Remember, he said she don't contribute to marginalized communities. So I have some, and you'll love this one, Queen V. So in 2023, remember the Hawaii had all those wildfires? She partnered with Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, love that man, to donate $10 million to start the fund for victims of the Hawaii wildfires. Because remember, during that time, our American leadership wasn't doing shit because also Puerto Rico got hit with some shit. She also during C-19 committed $13 million for pandemic relief targeting underserved. That means Black people, okay? Targeting underserved communities in Chicago, Milwaukee, Nashville, Baltimore, and I can't even pronounce that word, but it starts with a K. Kosciuszko, whatever that is. She contributed over $20 million to food insecurity causes during the pandemic. March of Our Lives matched a $500,000 donation to support the 2018 March for stricter pew pew laws. Like, there's so much. Oprah's Angel Network raised over $80 million, with 100% of donations going to charitable projects, including building over 55 schools in 12 countries. So it wasn't just South Africa. But yeah, there's a ton. So, and where's Bill keep disappearing to?
I think he's getting phone calls. But it's totally okay because I am about 17 minutes over my 2-hour mark. So, any final words, my beautifuls, my pretties? I'll start with you, Erica. What would you like to be? Short skirts. Yes, R.I.P. Bill's in the chat. He is no longer with us. That is always my joke when he doesn't get the microphone fast enough when I call. I scared Joey one time. He was like, "Oh my God, what happened to Bill?" I was like, "Oh shoot, I should probably stop doing that." But is there any final thoughts, beautiful, that you would like to leave us with?
Shout out to the Huktua oil.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Listen, and Queen V gets to take all the profits for the patent, for the brand. I have no other final words. Keep doing the great work that you do. And I love you.
Love you too, girl. Oh, I didn't pay. Aaron, Iran. I'm kidding.
Erwin. Because apparently my name is hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Anywho, no, I hate I was in and out for oh crap, did it go through? Hold on, let me make sure this went through. Hold on. Did I do this right?
Stand
Yes,
by.
okay. Okay.
Stand back and stand by. Just kidding.
Right. Yeah, I hate I was in and out of this, but I think this is a conversation like it's time to make people uncomfortable. You know, the politics of comfortability is the reason why we have lost so much in the recent years. And it's time to have difficult conversations on all ends of the spectrum of things that we can change, things that, you know, we need to just eliminate, and the betterment of society. And I love this energy. You know, it took me a while to get here, but bitch, I'm here. And I'm here unapologetically. I'm gonna try not to holler at people so much, but I have so much rage that I have not been able to channel it correctly.
Don't do it. Well,
But you know,
breathe when you
maybe after today I'll be able to have conversations. You know,
there
I
you
need to find my zen of, well, okay, let's unpack that without you dumb motherfucker, because that's where I am right now. But you know, the Lord is working. He's doing the work in me. But no, I appreciate the space. I appreciate, you know, you having these conversations. If you're not part of the block, you need to be a part of the block. We're going through one of my favorite books right now, the 1619 Project. And you know, you really, in order to know how to fix the system, we have to know how the system began and how it correlates to the things we see today. Once we do that, then guess what, Buttercup? We can fix it for good. And that's where we are right now. But thanks for having me up, Bookie. I appreciate ya.
Yes, queen. I am going to drop you down, get your eagle on, girl. This is my backup account. It also has Victor as the profile picture. If you don't know who Victor is, join me on the weekends for Trump voter therapy. If you want to see Victor in action for the very first time, check out that was the Lord coming through. That is the most recent video on my page, and I do promise to close out my series about environmental racism. And shout out to Aaron for the $20 on the Blue app for finishing out my emotional labor fee for the day. I appreciate you so much. And she gets it too. Every single time I say that it is a woman that finishes me off, I play this.
Say that you a lesbian girl, me too.
You're
Hey.
right. W lesbians, they are the first letter in the LGBT that I think they should be leading more. Did you know that I think there's only like 6 lesbian like clubs, like in like only clubs? I am not the L, but I am an advocate for you all. I think that you all deserve like more of you, like clubs for you. And I have one to pitch. Yeah, nationally. I have one. I listen, don't steal it, but the carabiner. And like you have like a rock climbing wall, right? And then like the like club seats are like fucking like Subarus, like where you put your drinks. It's like the trunk of Subarus. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. Thank you so much. I feel like it would take off. I don't know. I'm thinking of you. And then like it's attached and like in the back. And then like you also check this out. Tell me if I'm wrong. You also have an option to get your drink in a hydro flask. I know you. I know y'all. A fucking hydro flask. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. A hydro flask, a Subaru where you keep your beers. That's just one side of the club, right? And then on the other side, because it's attached to another side of the club in the back, and that side is called the Pillow Princess, right? Because I want you guys to intermingle, but you guys, you have your little sections. Pillow Princess, just think pillows, pink feathers, everything a Pillow Princess needs. It's fluffy, it's cute, it's feather boas, all that type shit. In the middle, though, because it's kind of shaped like an eye, there's going to be two-way mirrors, right? And that's where we shove the straight men that come into the club, right? We shove them in there, right? And on the side of the two-way mirror that we see, we're going to have like these like bars that kind of look like zoo, kind of like jail bars, kind of like a zoo, right? So when we look at them through the two-way mirror, it looks like we're kind of looking at them inside of a zoo. Thank you for the money gun, period. It looks like you're looking at the straight men through a zoo, right? It's like the male zoo. Listen, I trust you guys, okay? I have it. It's here. We know that this is my idea. And then like they'll get bored, because why are you guys even in there in the first place? Like there's a code, but you guys can laugh at them. You guys can laugh. I'm like, why are you here? And then eventually they'll leave, but y'all can like walk around the zoo and laugh. So if you guys like the idea, I think it could take off.